Well, we just watched episode 14 of Gotham, titled The Fearsome Dr. Crane. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that Selena Kyle likes to eat her cereal dry. I bet she wished she had some of that milk from episode 1, huh? What else? Oh, Bullock's got the hots for a redhead. He kind of has some redhead qualities in him, you know? I bet if they had babies, they make beautiful ginger children. Ginger babies. That sounds kind of good. That should not sound good. No. And lastly, we learned that Oswald Cobblepot is shooting blanks.
Whoa! Oh, whoa. Okay.
No, he's literally shooting blanks. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Calm down. Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Chad.
Hi, Chad.
And my fear is that I might miss an episode of the Gotham After Show. Welcome to the Gotham After Show, the show that films about 24 hours after the airing of Gotham on Fox, to give you plenty of time to get in on the conversation, and you did get in on the conversation. For this episode, we do have some fan comments and questions, as well as a very special edition of Caption This, where we've included you, and we have picked a winner. Plus, we have 4 people on here. Spoiler alerts, if we haven't cut to the wide camera yet, which I guess probably we have, so not a spoiler alert. Before I get to the
rough takeoff
to our lovely red couch of killing jokes, which is what it's called this week, by the way, I would like to mention that our giveaway for the Hush graphic novel has closed. We have picked a winner. They did say yes, I would like it, and that winner is Dave?
Brianna
Bissett. So we will be sending it out. Congratulations, Brianna, for winning our Hush graphic novel giveaway. Now, will you please welcome to the red couch of killing jokes from the... Oh, so many podcasts to choose from that you're on. I'm going to go with from the Inside the Force podcast. He is David Cottingham.
That's one of them. Thank you.
Dave. From the Star Wars TCG podcast, he is Cory Cooley. And please welcome back to the show a special guest for this week from the In the Comix podcast, Russell Johnson.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for requesting me. One person requested, so that's good enough for me.
Hey,
yeah.
When the Gothamites speak, we respond.
I appreciate it.
So we want more Russell. Now you have Russell.
I like being here.
Enjoy.
Do you have Russell?
Enjoy your Russell. Guys,
yes.
Sorry, yeah.
All right.
I got weird fast.
That was just great.
the red couch of killing joke.
Great.
That's what you are this week. New couch again.
I can dig it.
The Fearsome Dr. Crane. First quick impressions, Russell.
Quality episode. I enjoyed it. Very good. I like the show. I think the past several episodes have been really good, and this one was coming back from mid-season has been top notch. I think it's been they're really getting some things together and bringing a lot of people to, bringing all these little elements as opposed to going to each one like we were going early on. We're starting to get them all together now, or at least in some sort of way, shape, or form. We're starting to kind of meld a little bit more and kind of get more united group of people together. So it's been really good. Awesome episode.
Cory Cooley.
What about top 3 favorite?
Oh, I should just do a...
I mean, this is just great. It gets better every time.
I should do a montage cut of Cory saying, it's in my top 3 episodes.
I mean, this is a great episode.
It's in my top 3 episodes. This is one of my top 3 episodes.
I literally
just
say that
cut them
every
all
single-
together.
I literally say that ever because it just every time it gets better and better and better and better.
Well, I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, and already, even from the previews in the next show,
That's going to be your top 3
that
episodes.
will be my
preview.
If it
top
goes
3 previews.
if it
Top
goes
3.
how I think it's going to go, it will be my favorite one.
Oh,
So.
got it.
So
Wow.
I'm going to end it there. But no, yeah, it was amazing. Love it. Seeing a lot of cool. Finally getting to see what I was basically asking for last Gotham episode, which was, let's see this main bad guy. Let's see this main protagonist that spans out a little long than the Balloon Man or something like that. So yeah, awesome, exciting.
D. Cottingham.
Very, very good episode.
Top 3?
I
don't really care. Go on.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, it was very good though. I liked. And I'm sure we'll get to it. I wasn't expecting to see Jonathan Crane, but you know, that was a cool addition, and but overall, I thought the father did well, and I think the setup, the storyline, the introduction of the new, the redhead, I can't remember you got her name.
Redhead.
You know, she was good in it, and it added a lot to Bullock's character. So, yeah, I'm stoked that it's a two-parter.
Yeah, this is part one of a two-parter, and from what we've seen just from the previews, OMG.
I have not seen the preview.
OMG.
OMG.
You haven't seen
I
it?
watched it this morning online, so I didn't have the preview at the end of it.
Wow.
We thought if I have a good face-to-face.
Yeah.
Who?
Put it that way.
Let's just...
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Let's roll that preview.
Did you bring a clip?
I
Did you bring a clip?
the preview. I had the preview, but
No.
Drop the
sorry.
clip. Don't have the clip.
Left the clip at the office.
I had it.
Okay. A lot of things happening in this episode, like we said. We have continuation of the Kristen Kringle and Ed Nygma thing. Nygma gets suspended, and we see his first like nefarious side of things. Let's just go ahead and talk about that. What did you guys think of when he got caught with his hand inside of someone? And then he goes and plants chopped up body parts in the medical examiner's locker to basically to save his job. That was his plan. His plan worked. What did we all think of that?
I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was really cool. We got, you know, instead of just getting that one scene with him, we finally got a little bit of a story with him. You know, and a little bit more with Kringle's, Kringle,
Kristen.
which you kind of understand or get a little bit more sense of her feelings about him a little bit more, even though it's very subtle. But no, I think that was, you know, I think he's one of the best parts of the show by far. He steals every scene. I think it was a fantastic episode for him.
Russ, any speculate? This may just be speculation, but any ideas on why Kristen was crying?
That's a great question. I don't know. No speculation on why
Russell
she would
won't
be
be back for
crying. Because I don't like Flass really had much to do. I mean, he was kind of the guy downstairs who was kind of the jerk to Nygma and stuff like that. But I don't think she really. I don't think she had quite any kind of real thing for him, because that's what Nygma says. Flass got fired or arrested or whatever, and I don't think it's really that. I don't really know why that was. I think it was just
a little seed that's been planted.
Just kind of a little thing there because with her it's always been, again, these little subtle things we don't know a lot about, because she's obviously who Nygma likes a lot, and it's been very mysterious on how her reaction would be, because it went from creepy to possible cuteness. I mean, went from the poem and just all these weird things that been doing. So I think there's definitely more to her than just being the apple of his eye.
Right. Right. Cory, what do you think about Nygma's astuteness and his observations of, but I can see tears on your face?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was a little confused, because obviously that's the first thing he thought, because he's used to being turned down by her. But I think he got a little bit of a jolt when she was like, no, like that, or that wasn't it, and then she mentioned that she did hear about him getting suspended, so he's obviously like, she's crying because I'm suspended. That's what I maybe kind of thought. And then I think it's gotten to the point to where, and I think now Nygma understands, is that they have this back and forth that has been established, and it's almost like how they flirt, how she flirts. Because as you can tell, like when she re-met him, he kind of was like, "Oh, I'm back," and she was like, "Oh, great," but then she said, "You owe me a pencil." So I think maybe he finally understands.
And then he was like, "I'll give you a pencil."
Well, oh,
A long pencil.
It's longer than this. It's not saying much.
Not really though. Not really. But because coming from a guy who I don't think really understands social cues, I think he's struggled this entire time. I think that's what she's been after. So I think he's kind of like the what's his face from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Kind of a Sheldon
it's a
character.
Sheldon moment to where he's like, you know, he whatever his stupid little
Doesn't
laugh
get
is.
sarcasm and doesn't
Exactly.
understand.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what happened here.
That you know, she could have been the trigger to, because he's been quirky and weird and annoying, but really now he's become violent, or not violent, but I mean kind of beyond just weird. I mean, he becomes almost villainous to set him up like that. I mean, that's a pretty bad thing to do, and the way he does it.
Yes.
You know, it's like that could be the trigger that starts his.
See, I said this on a few shows ago. I was like, I think
I don't
Kringle
watch
is
the
there
show, so I don't
for.
know.
Maybe.
I said that, Russell.
Never seen the show.
I said that.
This
Quid
new?
pro quo.
That this could be the catalyst for him becoming villainous, and I think Dave said, "No, you're full of crap." Or something like that. I don't remember. No, but so
It was one of the top 3 shows, though.
top 3 shows. Well, you look like you got something.
Well, I was going to say, do you think he would have done that? Do you think he did that because of Kringle? Or do you think he just
doesn't want to
doesn't want to leave, but then it wasn't until after she was upset about it that he was like, ooh, she's upset about it. You know, I want to stay. Maybe there's a chance, and maybe that's why he did it instead of.
He's got to be there to protect her. To make
possible.
sure she doesn't.
I don't know. I don't know that he did it because of her. I'm saying that maybe it's the kind of just that it's that little moment that
Sure.
helps him down that road.
Right.
Well, there was a lot more happening in this show, so we gotta move on here. A lot happening with Penguin and with Maroni in this one. There was a lot of scenes there, and of course, the truth came out about him working with Falcone. He tries to kill him,
Poor Penguin.
but he's shooting blanks, like I said in the intro there. What do you think about this? Because this, I mean, honestly, this took up a lot of Maroni's day. Driving him out there, doing all this. And I started to ask myself, why would he go to all this trouble? And I think he really does value Penguin, even though he doesn't act like it. He wanted to take the time to find out if he was truthful or not, because he does consider him an asset. What do you guys think? What do you think behind Maroni's?
No, I think I think by the time Fish called, he was sold. I think he was sold that he's been betraying me this whole time. And he wanted to punish him. So instead of just pulling him in the back of the room and saying, hey, did you do it or not? And then getting confessions and just killing, I think he wanted to savor it. He wanted to slowly take him out, scare him, you know, because he packed the gun. He showed him the gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he gets in there and he's talking all nice, and then he's like, I'm going to go. And he obviously knew that he was going to try to go for the gun. That's why he left him in the house.
Totally.
So I think he had this whole plan that, and once he finally got a confession out of him, then he was going to ultimately do what he did, which was put him in a car and smash him. So I think he took that. I think he took the sense of betrayal, the act of betrayal, as a definite, you know, blow to his trust, and he was going to punish him. And that was the way of punishing him.
So you think fixing him oatmeal and coffee, which he knew he didn't like, was part of the punishment?
I think it all was set up that way. Yeah.
I think he said it in his dialogue when he's talking about secrets.
Right.
Because at one point he goes, after he finally tells him something a little bit more, he goes, "See, I like this game."
Yeah.
So I think that was quite. But I do think I agree with you though. I think he does value, or at least he wanted to believe he could value Penguin's. Because really, Maroni feels like at some point he brought him up from this, you know, scrappy young
Dishwasher.
go-getter, you know, to do something, and then he's betrayed. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think he feels, you know, disrespected and cheated and lied to and everything. But I think you're right. He does. He really wanted Penguin to be part of his team because he felt like he was getting somewhere, especially with the whole fish thing. I mean, that was like extremely important to this whole big picture thing.
Yeah.
So. But I do think he enjoyed kind of just playing with him.
Yeah, but we said it last week. There was no way that he was going to take over Fish's nightclub and him not think that he's with Falcone.
Right, yeah. I always thought that too. I thought that when I was watching the show. I'm like, how is he not going to know if he takes over Fish's club that he's not involved with Falcone?
Yeah,
I mean, so I was,
Yeah. Cory, talk about Penguin's resourcefulness or luck when it came into that car smashing scene. Which do you think?
Oh man, there was a time when I was thinking like, how is he gonna get out of this? Like, no one knows he's there. Someone's gonna have to show up and save him. But I think it's resourcefulness. I mean, he's made it. I mean, we know how far he makes it, so we know he he's quick on his feet. And like he said it himself, he's not really good at physical altercations. So he's got to be quick, got to be smart, very smart. But luck in a sense of this guy could have been like, who cares?
Exactly.
He could have not answered.
And then could have not answered. Like,
Voicemail.
Yeah,
Like the fact that he
actually
called-
pooped his pants. Is what he got.
like, I don't know why he would put the phone to that sound. As if, like, this adds to how much I don't. This is how much I don't care that I'm doing that.
I
You're
poop
lucky I
on
had
you.
one in the chamber. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, one of my old sayings my dad, used to say, which when it comes to movies and stuff, how do you know that number was that guy's cell phone, that he was him? It's in the script. So, I think, yeah, in the sense
Well,
of
he
in
saw
that
it on the
universe.
billboard.
But did he know? Did
Yeah,
Shocking.
he was
ever
the guy.
referred
Yeah,
that
Shocking
he
Dark,
was
yeah.
Dickie or whatever?
Yeah.
Something.
No.
But so the fact that he was
Duffy.
the fact that it was a cell phone
nice.
could have been ringing off the hook in the office somewhere.
That's
because
true.
Ethel left early. That who knows? I
Luck,
mean,
that's luck.
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, luck. But in the universe, I'll tend to just let it go and be like, he was resourceful in this. I think that's what it was meant to
Yes.
signify.
Yes.
In our world, yes, luck. Their world, resourcefulness.
Yeah, definitely. So there was someone else in this episode who had all this hang up on fears and stuff. Maybe we want to talk about him a little bit, because that was pretty cool. Like,
Pretty
especially
awesome.
when his son Jonathan
Yeah.
came in there. Who can tell me about the Scarecrow? Because next week's episode is called The Scarecrow.
So what's up?
Who can tell
It's
me
called
about?
The Scarecrow?
It's called.
The Scarecrow cometh? The Schmer Schmo.
I think it's called The Scarecrow. If it's not, we'll get back to you.
I want to say it is too.
In a
I
minute.
read it in
Yeah.
the book.
But yeah. So who can talk about the Scarecrow in the world of DC Comics?
Well, these guys are more apt to.
Well,
Not the guy who does a podcast on comics.
yeah.
And specifically Jonathan Crane and how he became the Scarecrow in the comic book world.
Well, the eerie thing, and obviously Russ, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
Wrong.
the
Eh.
his father, John, as far as the Scarecrow goes, his father does play a major role in him becoming Scarecrow. Now in pre-52, his father was abusive and ended up dying, and then his mother ended up passing away. So his grandparents raised him, and they were actually abusive, and that's what kind of led to him becoming Scarecrow and kind of testing the fear of people and stuff like that. And that's what's weird is that in the pre-52, he kind of did, based on what his grandparents did to him, he did what actually was happening in this episode. He was testing phobias and fear on people, and then eventually developed a toxin based on that stuff. So, but pre-52, it actually gets really disturbing. If you get the villain book during Villain Month of 2013,
Yes, New 50. The New 50.
yeah. Prior to Forever Evil, the big storyline they did, the Scarecrow has a book. I can't remember what book it was. It was in one of the Batman
I
books.
believe it was a Batman book.
But anyway, there's a quick backstory about how his childhood was. His father, Gerald Crane, was a doctor and was testing the fear toxins that he was developing actually on Jonathan. He kept Jonathan locked up under his desk underneath the floorboard. Kept him locked up in there and was testing these different fear doses on his son. And then one day his father, Gerald, has a heart attack and just dies, and he's stuck down there. And it wasn't until days later when the cops finally came to the house to find Gerald, they found Jonathan Crane, and obviously that messed him up, but he ended up taking that knowledge and developing his own fear. He's one of the most common villains right now in the Batman storylines. He's
And
always popping up.
And his actual story, well, it's kind of misleading. Well, he does want to cause people fear, but he needs to feel fear because of what his father did to him. That's why he always goes after Batman, because Batman terrifies him. But it's part of his makeup. It's like, it's not fear, I'm going to run away. It's like, I have to have this fear as part of my life, and he gets it on other people. So, and at one point,
that's messed up.
He's awesome villain. He's awesome
Yeah.
villain.
Messed up.
That's crazy.
Was it the 3D cover?
Yes.
Okay.
Scarecrow cover.
Scarecrow
yeah.
cover. I have that one.
Good
Have
job.
to give that a read.
Good job.
Give that a read. Yes. Real quick, what is everyone's 10 on the Crane scale?
Oh, Jesus.
Russell.
Spiders.
Huh?
Spiders.
Spiders.
Oh,
Corey.
you know that's
Arachnophobia, big time.
Spiders. And it's funny you mention arachnophobia.
Spiders.
It's funny you mention arachnophobia because
Man.
what's his face is the guy who plays.
Dave Cunningham's the man without fear.
Who plays his dad. is
I'm
in
going to
that movie.
say shark attacks. Thank you, Jaws.
Wow, shark attack is up there.
Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia.
I can know what else got it.
Spiders.
I'm scared of a lot of stuff, man.
Spiders,
And zombies, right?
Spiders is pretty big.
Zombies, yes, but like
Yeah, all the zombies
zombies
are
any
right.
zombies, but like I'm talking like World War Z zombies. Just shoot me in the head. I'm done. Those things are terrifying.
And my fear of spiders came from the Brady Bunch with the Tiki Idol
Oh.
episode
That is
where
creepy.
Greg had the tarantula walking on his chest.
Ooh.
Freaked me out because
Okay,
I lived in
I-
Arizona and
it's-
tarantulas
I
were
think
actually around. That was
Spiders
terrifying.
aren't big ass spiders. Like the ones he talks about, like he made
Yes.
like in Japan, like
When I was
one
in
size
Okinawa,
big as your
yeah.
hand. Like that's
Like
pretty
Chamber
scary.
of Secrets, Harry Potter,
Ooh.
big spiders.
Lord of the Rings.
Like Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah, those. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
that's pretty
You
bad.
have a little baby spider. It's terrifying. I hate to get them away from me.
Yeah.
Awful.
What's yours?
T-Rexes.
T-Rexes.
T-Rexes are pretty dang scary.
Those are scary.
Velociraptors for me.
Ooh, velociraptors.
Velociraptors, maybe.
Because they can
yeah.
open doors.
Brontosaurus.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. But hey, if you can,
They eat plants.
somehow train them like Chris Pratt, have them roll on with you, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's your
do
worst
that.
fear? What is your 10 on the Crane scale? Twitterverse at Gotham After Show. Let us know. Bruce and Gordon have
Oh, I thought
another interaction.
Bruce was here.
Is he here?
Something.
Sorry?
He was like, Bruce? I thought
Bruce?
Bruce was here.
Bruce.
And what was happening?
He just walks out. I don't know why he didn't walk like that.
And welcome our special guest.
It's David.
David.
It is David.
It is David.
It is David, not David. Bruce and Gordon have another.
Maybe I should go by David.
Maybe you
Ooh.
should.
That'd be awesome.
Change it up. Don't church it up, boy. It's dirt. Dear Tay. I got a couple places. Joe, you live in a boiler room. Yeah, I got a couple places.
It's Dear Tay, yeah. So Bruce and Gordon. Gordon comes over. He hasn't talked to him since he basically caused assassins to go after him.
Yeah.
And he went to Switzerland. But Bruce has basically released Gordon of his promise, and he says, "Don't worry about it. I got this. I got this. You just go on, catch your freak of the weeks. I'm going to solve this thing." How important is this in the development, the mythos of Batman? Or is it not?
I think it is. I think he that's what gets him. Obviously, I feel like in the comics, and especially like year one, I mean, they find out pretty quick who did it.
Mm-hmm.
But in this storyline, I think it is important because I think in this storyline, that's going to be one of his main reasons to, it's how he's going to learn how to be a detective and how to do all these things. Whereas I don't think that was a big. I think that was all kind of after the fact. I think he didn't really. It wasn't until after I think he was a little bit older that he left. That's when he decided. Then that's when he left. But this is kind of going the route where obviously, where Legends, their origins, the whole thing with the Gotham show. But I think this is a very big deal. I mean, the fact that he's taking it on by himself, and we'll get to the previews later, but he steps it up a notch, is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get much of in the comics. You do. There's always flashbacks to him being a kid, but it really isn't until you're right. It's not until he's older when he starts training and working out and deciding he's going to do this thing. Whereas this show, definitely since he's so young, it really shows his drive, his ambition, his just determination. So I think it's incredibly important. Just like I thought the episode where they got all the crime files out and Alfred started helping him go through the files.
Yes.
Like, that's detective right there. This is, just his relentless pursuit of justice. I mean, that's what it is. That's who Batman is.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And there was one thing that Alfred said, and it seems like they always fit these in, that I mean, just being a full-hearted Batman fan is, Alfred said something to the effect of, and I won't do Sean Pertwee's voice,
Oh.
but he said something like, once Master Bruce makes his mind up in something, you pretty much can't argue with him. Setting up the fact that, I mean, what we've seen Yeah, it's just cool. You know, little
Yeah.
things like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is, to me, though, it is a little disappointing because usually in a series, the pilot sets up the storyline a little bit in the first season, and if we're abandoning completely about who that guy was, because in the first couple of episodes you got a little bit of it, right? All of a sudden, Kat comes and she's a witness, but now last few episodes we haven't gotten anything.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce hasn't even been on the show. So are we completely off of this now? Is you know?
Yeah.
Are we ever gonna find out? I mean, if it ends up being just a Joe Chill again, you know, I don't know. I think they set it up to be more than just a random murder. So I think somehow they got to get back to it. But if they don't, that'll actually be a little disappointing to me.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're abandoning it. I think it's just kind of a bump in the road as far as the Bruce and Gordon relationship. And I don't think Gordon is going to stop investigating either.
Yeah, because Gordon's not.
Yeah.
He won't stop.
And I also wanted to ask, it was interesting in this episode that Selena tells Gordon, hey, I didn't see anybody. But it could have just been something that she told Bruce to kind of get him off her back, but now she's telling, you know,
Right.
she's taking her piece of leverage that she had with Gordon and throwing it out the window. So what do we think? Has anything changed in our opinions of did she actually see the killer or not? Has anything changed? because of this?
Not in my opinion. I think that's a misdirection on purpose. Like she says, I didn't see it. I lied because with Bruce it was him getting too close. So the only way she was going to get him to back off is to tell him she lied. Same way with Gordon. Gordon, the same thing. Oh, you haven't talked to him? I want out of this whole deal, so I'm just going to tell you I didn't. I lied. Why would you believe me anyway? I'm a street kid. You know what I mean? So I think she's still using that as a form of leverage. Like she's trying to get out of these relationships. She doesn't want Bruce to get too close, so she backs him off. She doesn't want Gordon, so that's how. She doesn't have anything else. She's in their home, hanging out, and getting those little things from them, and maybe some sort of protection or at least a place to stay and things like that. So I think she's willing to throw it out the window just to not let people get close to her. That's who Catwoman is. I mean, she, even in the comics with Bruce, her relationship with him is so, like, it's on and off again constantly. It's never like this big, she's always backing him off because she's still who she is. She's still that kid on the street. So I don't think it's been abandoned. I think it's really just her, because I think it'd be hard for me to swallow the fact that she was there the first episode, see the shooting, and all of a sudden we're like, well, no, she really didn't. Now, much like Dave, I think I'd be disappointed in that. Now, I don't honestly think that they're going to solve this murder. It's kind of like that murder they're always chasing, and it kind of drives the storyline. I think it should show up. I don't think they should abandon it, but I don't think they're going to solve it. It's kind of that it's just going to keep going because it's going to keep the thing that it's the catalyst that drove everyone to go in these directions. So it's got to maintain that thread, but it's not going to. I don't think it's going to be like, okay, we find out who the guy is and then we move forward. Because if Bruce finds out, is he done being back, like, in pursuit of justice? I don't think so.
Right.
So I mean, why is it? I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, but again, in all other instances, he knows when he's young anyway. Everybody knows it's Joe Chill in every other incarnation. So I think it still drives him to figure out why it happened. Because I think I don't think it matters who it was. I think it matters why they did it. Because I think, unlike Joe Chill and every other instance where it's just the bad crime that he's a suffering guy and he needs money, this is a hit. It seems like it's a hired hit because he had shiny shoes. This guy was a well-dressed guy. So the reason for it, I think, is coming. I think they need to figure out who it is. I think they need to reveal by the end of the season who the guy is. I don't think that's something that should be lingering, for sure, because I think that's when you start losing audiences. When there's something that just keeps going and going and going. To me, in a way, I think you have to solve it because I think it introduces more problems. Similar to the Nolan thing, which was really good. Bruce in the Nolan universe was going to kill him.
Right.
It gives him a whole nother sense of how I know who this guy is. So,
good points. Good points. But now it's time for everyone's special game, favorite game, it's a special edition this week.
I just found out about today.
Because,
Special game.
we have 4 people again, and also because you guys contributed to it, it's time for Caption This. Gentlemen, 4 pictures have been emailed to all of us. Each one of us, can we get some dun, 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 music going in it? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, get my captions
Each
up
one
there.
of us can only pick one. So each one will have a different Caption This picture. Gentlemen, you're already looking at your devices, so look
Yes.
at your devices.
Yes.
Just needed to see what I
And
wrote down. That's all.
I'm going to say Russell gets to go first. So which one are you picking?
All right, I picked the Nygma one.
The Nygma?
Well,
Nygma.
well,
Let's go ahead and put that full screen.
yeah, I would like to. I actually did all of them, but
Caption this.
because I had a good time with those. Those were
Well,
actually
there
fun.
you go.
So my quote was for Nygma was, Nygma was shocked Miss Kringle was so understanding about his stubby pencil.
Okay. Write that one down in the books.
Nice.
Top three. That's my top three.
Nice.
Top three?
That's top three. Top three. Good. Cory, which one are you doing?
I'm doing the maid, the cleaning lady. All right. I don't know. I thought about this one. I'm just here so I won't get fined. So I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe she's just where I don't know. That's all I got.
Very good. Very good. Dave Cunningham?
I'm going with the Bullock one over the building.
Mm-hmm.
And mine's, hey, Gordon, come look at the fun bags on this house.
Yes. Yeah.
Little Dumb and Dumber reference there.
Very
Nice.
good. Very good. Yeah.
Nice.
Or I can see down your shirt. Yeah. Another
Joe Dirt.
Two Joe Dirt references.
Two
in this
Joe
show.
Dirts.
They're making a second one.
You
by
don't
the
get
way.
that often.
No, you
No.
don't.
That's
You
the
don't.
Gotham After Show for you folks.
I
References.
almost didn't get that out.
Nice. Wow. That's
Yeah.
what Nygma said.
Ooh, man.
Points. I can hear Chris Hardwick somewhere going, point.
Yeah, points. Oh, wow.
Skinny ties. All right. So that leaves me
Lots.
with Kat. Leaves me with Kat. So let's see. She's saying, "Hi, I'm Selena Kyle. When I'm not jumping from rooftop to rooftop, I make sure to start my day with a nice bowl of Fruit Brute. Fruit Brute. It gets me going." Meow.
There you go. Yeah. Meow.
So that's
Meow. Yeah.
meow.
Fruit Brute.
Fruit Brute.
Sweet.
And we have picked. We actually got a big response from the Twitterverse. Sent all those out just mere hours ago, and we had an outpouring of
Responses.
Responses, there you go.
And so the winner, they were all very good. Some a little confusing, but the
Little
winner
explicit, but it's
is
all right.
actually one we picked from our contributor here sometimes, Mrs. Cobblepot, actually. She picked the Selena Kyle version as well, and she said, her caption is, "Should have bought Booberry."
Very good. Very good. Or oops, all berries. That was always
Or Oops All
Oops, all
Berries.
berries, yeah.
I always wanted
Shoulda
oops,
bought
all marshmallows.
Booberry.
That's what I wanted.
You know what? We'll just go ahead and say what we were between. It was one from Gotham's Army, and I'm gonna have to get Cory to do it because I don't remember this part of the song, but it was
yeah.
for the cleaning lady again.
Yes, I saw it. I was like, that sounds so familiar, but it's what is it? It's what's it say?
Shoddy.
It's Shawty the good Lord.
Shawty get down.
Shawty get down.
Good
Good
Lord.
Lord. That's what it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no diggity.
No diggity, like the back.
Because I heard it, I was like, I'm trying to say it over and over again. I remembered no diggity.
No diggity,
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
not gonna-
back it up. So that's from at Gotham's Army. Our official winner
okay.
is at Mrs. Cobblepot. So congratulations, and a good Caption This all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Fun bags.
Fun bags.
Your shanties. Yeah.
Fun bags. So we had
You okay?
What's going on there?
It's a deep pocket.
There you go.
live TV.
One of those cartoon pockets that pull out a hammer.
Do we need 17 scarves tied together?
Yeah.
We had a very special episode of Gotham.
Special. Yeah.
On which
That's the word of the day,
That's the
zombie.
word of the day, yeah. In which Harvey Bullock shared in group. He shared his greatest fear
I'm
and
afraid every day.
all this. Exactly. He'd rather die in the arms, and he looks right at her of a beautiful woman.
God, I couldn't believe he did that.
He's a little
Do you think
sappy.
do you think this is more of a peek into the inner Bullock, or is he just trying to get laid? Thoughts, feelings?
Laid.
Yeah.
I think it's both.
I think some of it was kind of a show to try to sit there and be able to
Oh yeah.
stake out the group for a second, but maybe there could be a hint of truth to it. I mean, I don't know. Bullock doesn't seem to be the type of guy that is afraid. You know what I mean? He just hasn't seemed. He seemed.
He gets close to
always
ledges.
headstrong. Yeah.
Shows total
I don't
disregard
care.
for ledges.
Yeah.
Looks at fun bags.
He does.
No, it was definitely. I mean, he was
definitely
definitely saying that to again, like you just to scope out who did it.
It's case in the
But I think he definitely,
Yeah, there you go.
you know, he
Indeed,
definitely
indeed.
wants the.
So the new
red.
power couple of Gotham, which we are calling Gimli. That's the name, Gimli.
Gimli.
Totes
Gimli.
approach.
Totally made out
Yeah.
in GCPD. Smart move by Gordon or dumb? Because he's already not everyone's favorite. Is this like, hey, I'm gonna arrest your all's friend, you know, I'm gonna lay down the letter of the law, and I'm gonna make out with a hot chick in the middle of GCPD, bow down? Or do you think he just really got people's goats? Because he could have gotten off with just a little kiss on the cheek, bing bang boom.
Yeah, but I took that as like she's I'm gonna lean in, but and he did that. She kissed him, like she made the aggressive move, and he just kind of fell into it at that point. I think he was honestly trying to say, look, I mean, not in a hard line type of way where he's like, oh, I can't kiss her, you know, but he was just kind of like, hey, you know, everybody's watching, and I think she kind of suckered him into it, and he was willing to be suckered into it, is what it was. He was willing to be
But
coaxed.
she said he could get by with just a kiss on the cheek.
True.
He just said,
did go
"Here you go."
full time.
Yeah, so
Full
just
hard.
saying.
Yeah.
Gimli.
Gimli.
All I'm
Love
saying is
that
that
group.
she leans in like that. She ain't
You ain't
getting
breaking
just kiss on cheek. Stop saying.
Yeah, he ain't
Yeah.
worried. I
It's all
don't think
time.
he's, yeah.
And
Plus-
there's a how do you do?
Plus, sounds like they're going to
I
be
gotta
like
go to the bathroom real
co-workers
quick.
now.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'll get you a job here.
So-
We can go to the men's locker room all the time.
That's all I want to know. He acted like he was actually the one who could offer her the job.
That's
Like,
true.
Where
He did.
If I yell loud
he's
enough,
kind of like,
Yeah.
that's a
People
job
do what I
opening,
say.
and
Yeah.
just come talk to me about it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Easy.
you're a
man.
detective,
Yeah,
but
let's
Yeah.
know your role. I mean,
you're not HR.
True.
Come on.
there's a whole process.
Into the
A whole
episode,
vetting process.
who is this pirate that Fish is running out? Do you think they have a past? Do you think she's just like, why are you in
Clearly.
my quarters? I was taking a nap.
Clearly, I am
I
the
don't know,
captain
you-
now. That's what I was saying earlier. So I had to say it again. I said it in between. I am the captain now. He shot straight up. Captain.
I don't know. What? Everybody got a sense that they knew each other?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Really?
as soon as
Oh,
she
yeah.
saw him, I mean, they both
I think it was
ran
like
towards
I
each
think it
other
was like instant recognition. She was like, I mean, I think Fish, yeah, she's aggressive, but I don't think she looks at some dude who busts in a room and just goes. I mean, the look on her face was like, I mean, I think she definitely knew who that was. That's why they
Or
went
they're running and then they're going to embrace and just kiss.
make out. It could
Ooh,
be.
one of
That's a
those
good.
hard
I never thought of it that way. My mind always goes to the easiest answer, which is
And the
violence.
pirate be like, I got me a fish.
I got yeah. So
Got
he turned
me
into a
fish,
real.
dude.
Yeah, he turned into
Are you
not a Somalian pirate, but a real pirate. Yeah.
That's right.
And they were
I don't
creating
know.
floating seafood restaurants
I'd be
called
honest.
Fishes.
I did not.
So-
I did not get that vibe. I got the vibe that her life was threatened, and she was just charging him to try to take him down.
All
Take
right,
him,
then.
take him down. Take him down.
Take him downtown.
Take him down.
Downtown. So we're going to end this episode with some questions from you all. Here.
Yes, no, yes, yes, no.
Yeah.
And wrap.
And good night.
A,
yeah.
B, B, C.
It's like start.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Blood code. The first one is from @Mistress of Fears at Gotham After Show. From the preview, do you think Jonathan gains his curiosity about fear from his father using a form of fear toxin on him? Kind of already hit on this earlier in the show, but do you think that's the route that they're going in this one or not?
Looks like it.
Yeah, very interesting that they, because again, like we talked about, there isn't an incarnation that I know about that his son Jonathan is actually helping him, or watching all of this. So this is a different take on it, where and his father's actually even said, he's like, well, this is for science, we're doing this for good. So he's already misguided. So yeah, it's eventually. I don't know if he uses it. I don't know. I guess he would probably use it on him just to, because like Russell said, Jonathan Crane eventually has to understand fear in order to be able to use it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think at some point he's going to use it on him just so he understands what fear is.
Yeah.
You know. So yes.
Very good. Our next one comes from frequent question asker of the show, Sergeant Merca.
Merca.
At Sergeant Merca says, how many years do you really see Gotham running? Cory.
Oh man, it depends. I mean, so many variables. I'm gonna shoot for. I don't know. I would say a normal number, but on the higher end, I would say maybe 8 seasons.
Well, okay.
Which is an okay amount. I mean,
It's a very good amount.
It's
Very good.
well, Smallville was more than that, right?
Smallville was 10.
So I mean, not necessarily 6. I would say is probably the normal. Wouldn't you think?
Generally.
6 is a good run.
Good run. A little bit more than a good run, I think.
Okay. Guys, got a number?
I mean, initially I thought maybe 10. But I don't think it's going to go that long, to be honest. I'm more around with Cory, 7 or 8
I don't think
seasons.
it can.
Yeah.
I'm actually even lower than that. I'm thinking. I mean, not because I think it's a bad show or it's going to run out of steam. I think maybe 5. Honestly.
Okay, because you take a very critically acclaimed, high-rated show like Breaking Bad, only did 5, but that was their choice.
Right.
They said.
Plus, they're not putting out as many episodes in that show either, though.
Correct.
So
22 episodes. That's a big run to
it's
do.
a big
for
run, but they also
that many years.
they change. Something like that is condensed story, and this has got so many more. I just think I don't know. I think it really depends on this whole idea that we've talked about. If they're going to time jump,
Yes.
Right.
It
if
depends
they're going to
all from
extend
that.
years in between seasons, then I think you could possibly go longer.
And I can't think of a show that already has a prerequisite of look, it's not going to be around for 20. I mean, 20 years as a kid is. Well, I mean, I would say 10 years. 10 or 12 years because he's probably 12. I think he was in his early 20s
he's like
when he
12.
left. So. I can't think of a show that's already said, look, at some point that's going to have to happen. I mean, that's not going to be around that long. But I'm liking Russ. I mean, I don't think it can. I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
The only reason I say that is because we have, and again, I don't think we have any real gauge of comic book shows based around comic books or whatever that we know what they do. We're on this new incarnation. We've talked about this on our podcast. We're in a whole new era of TVs and movies that have really just blown up. They're getting funneled out right now, left and right. But something like Arrow and Flash, like Arrow, I thought when it first started, I think maybe 5, but lucky to be 5. Now I'm thinking they could go easy 7 or 8. And it just depends. I mean, season 2, again, depending on what they do, time jump, whatever. But
it's going to be. It's really hard to tell in a show's first season. I mean, we just crossed over the halfway mark of season 1, so yeah, it is tough. But I would kind of go in the middle of everyone and probably say 6, 7.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Arrow was like that.
Yeah.
Like
We got
first.
one from, speaking of Mrs. Cobblepot, Mrs. Cobblepot at MRS Cobblepot. Do agree. I can't even say, do you agree? It's Twitter.
Agree.
140 characters. Do you agree with the conspiracy theories that it's a 2-parter. It's from a lady.
Ooh, a lady.
And there's a ladies' man reference. Oh,
lady.
man.
Yeah.
A, Kristen Kringle becomes Harley Quinn, and B, Fish becomes the Fish becomes the Fish becomes the Joker.
I wish you. But if I could belly laugh right now, I mean, I'm just so set back. Fish becomes the Joker? Nah. I don't want to indulge.
No.
Where did you hear this, Miss Cobblepot? That's what I want to
Where
know.
did this conspiracy, did you cook this up?
I could maybe see Kringle, but no. It's
let's talk about
Harley
that. Kristen Kringle. Santa Claus.
We've been wanting to say it this entire
Kristen
time.
Kringle becomes Harley Quinn. Now that would be completely out of the cartoon is where she first appeared. The
It would be,
cartoon lore,
completely
no
out of
comic book
anything
lore.
that they've ever
Anything,
done.
yeah.
I mean,
She,
Harley Quinn's always been Dr. Harleen Quinzel. I mean, it's
Yes.
always been her. So
Worked at Arkham, and it was through working with the Joker as a patient where she got her mind warped and
Yes.
Yeah, and think about
Harley
it.
Quinn.
If Lee leaves, there's an opening now.
I mean, I think that
Right.
with all the way they've
Right.
established all the major characters in the Batman universe, I don't think they would deviate from such a popular character as Harley Quinn that far. Like
Now,
she's,
she would
unless
admittedly-
she's just totally lying about her name.
Right.
You know, I mean,
She
that's
would admittedly make a very hot Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Sure.
And not to laugh at your conspiracy theories. Sorry, this is Cobblepot, but
It's a little crazy.
I don't know. We're probably, I think we're all in agreement saying probably not to those, but that's what
I think-
conspiracy theories are for.
I think Kristen Kringle becomes more of a Riddler minion
There you go.
That's very true.
down the road.
Cool. There you
go.
That'd be my guess.
She could be another, you know,
Because
like
she's
how,
slowly
how,
being turned by this little, you know,
how
his,
Fish was made for Gotham. Maybe she becomes another made for Gotham.
yes,
character,
she could be.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But everybody keep in mind, too, real quick, I think you've got to, unfortunately, I think you've got to realize that there's movies getting made that are using a lot of the characters that I think they're gonna steer away from, similar to what Arrow's doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because Harley Quinn is about to make a major splash in the DC
Yes.
cinematic universe, so
Yeah.
Arrow's already avoided showing they hinted at it, but they didn't show it. So
Right.
I don't think
Yeah.
I think
Her
I think
voice.
it'd be
Yeah.
a little later down the road if we ever get Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Very good. And lastly, we have Olympia Manning at Manning_24601. She asks, "Will we see more Jonathan in the next episode?" Yes. You can go to Fox.com and watch the preview of next week's episode, and you get your answer right there. We will be seeing more Jonathan, of course. Don't know how involved. Well, let's just talk about that real quick. What do you think? How involved is Jonathan going to be? We're going to see a turn? Like,
I don't really see a term, but I think if it's called Scarecrow, you're going to get a lot more Jonathan this time.
Yeah.
I think we may get more of a, again, what we've been talking about, origin with his father. I think we're going to get a lot more of that. Like how he gets that seed planted, much like all these characters are. I mean, every character is just like these little building blocks. And I think this is going to be that for Scarecrow, personally.
How old do you think he was? He looked a little older than I thought he would have
He
been.
looked a little older than I
maybe
anticipated.
15, 16?
Yeah, 16,
Yeah.
17,
Something like that.
Well, he can drive, right? So
He's in the
16,
van.
17.
Well, maybe. He was feeding the meter. Doesn't mean he was
Oh,
necessarily driving.
That's true.
He looked. I mean, maybe he's tall. I mean, I know Scarecrow is kind of lanky and tall.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as old. He could. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
could
could be.
be
I
as
think he
old.
could
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
So speaking of next week, we have the meeting of the soon-to-be Riddler and the now already Penguin. I don't know. They're going to do this. That might be kind of funny. They're just like, yeah,
Both did this together. Yeah.
But Corey Michael
That'd be a
Smith
weird
and Robert
turn.
Lord Taylor, the three named guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those three name guys. Yeah.
Those three named guys.
Put those guys together.
Yeah. So that's interesting. We're all looking
6
forward
names.
to that. So
Awesome.
that will do it. I'd like to thank our special guest, Russell Johnson. You can follow him on Twitter at Director421 and
Thank
make
you
sure
so much
to
for having
tune
me.
in
Appreciate it.
to In the Comix at In the Comix with an X in the mix of all things comics. Thank you again to David.
Actually, in the mix
Actually-
of everything comics, we had to change that.
Oh.
Just FYI, no big deal. But
Hey, I'm using old slogans over here.
Yeah, you didn't have that card? Yeah, there you go.
You're fired. Thanks to Dave Cottingham at dcottingham21 on Twitter. Make sure to listen to him and watch, because we're doing video, at Inside the Force.
Yes.
And your slogan is still at Inside the Force.
Sure.
And thanks to Cory at KooMasterKoo. Be sure to listen to him and watch him on Star Wars TCG at
We'll go with
Star
that
Wars
one.
TCG.
So many.
There's so many shows. I'm at Chad Perkins21. You can watch me right here at Gotham After Show. Like us, subscribe to the network, youtube.com/21network. And until next time, the two-parter. Oh my, my, my. Till then, stay frosty.